Howdy ho, everyone. Eric Faust here at Camper Tech, your congenial host. I want to talk to you about something that's very important called customer relations. Now, today it's kind of a gloomy, ugly, nasty, cold winter day here in central Indiana. It's also Monday. You're probably thinking, well, Eric, what's that have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you. Myself, and I'm sure most of you, hate dismal weather. And you combine that with Monday. Most of you probably hate Mondays. Combine those two factors, and that can give you a sour attitude. I mean, hey, speaking for myself, I hate Mondays and I hate cloudy days. I mean, combined those two, it's just awful. You just want to sit there and ugh, I don't feel like dealing with anybody today. Hey, it's a real feeling. But you know what? You've got to take that and adjust it real quick if you're going to stay in this business. Because your customer doesn't want a sourpuss working with them. I'm telling you. I'll give you an example. How many of you have ever taken your car into a car dealership and you pull in, service writer slumped over, walks over to you. Can I help you? Well, what are you going to do? You're going to just say, I'm here for an oil change. Okay. You want to do anything else? You're at 30,000 miles. You have a service due. You want to get that done? No, maybe later. I just want to get my oil changed today. Now, that customer turned that service down probably because of the service advisor's attitude. Hey, I just want to get it. I just want to get in here and get my oil changed and get out. God, that guy's miserable. Or gal, for that matter. Now, go into that same dealership, different advisor. Drive in. Advisor comes up. Well, hello, Mr. Smith. I see you're on our appointment list. We've been expecting you. Hey, it's great to see you. Your car's looking good. Wow, you're doing a great job of taking care of that. Man, I wish my kids would take a lesson from you. See, you're kind of buttering them up a little bit. Well, hey, I see that you're in here for an oil change. While you're here, you're due for your 30,000 mile maintenance interval. As nice as that car is, you want to keep it that way, don't you? That really, because that is such a nice car. Hey, you know what? We can do that. We have time to do it. And while you're waiting for it, in our waiting room, we have Wi-Fi, we've got big screen TV, we've got coffee and donuts, whatever else you need. We'll be glad to get it taken care of you. What do you say? We can get that done right now? Okay, between those two, I think you know what you as a customer are most likely to say yes to. Am I correct? Yeah, I think I am. So, you've got to, no matter how crappy of a day you're having, and again, Mondays, God, they ought to be outlawed. But you've got to take and you've got to get your A game going. And so, open up the drawer, take that attitude, bad weekend, bad relationship, overdue bills. Hey, we all have them. Stuff those problems, put them in that drawer because they're going to be there. Address the customer. You know what? You adjust your attitude, that customer is going to be more highly inclined to spend more money, and that ultimately results in you making more money, which, really could improve your attitude. So it's kind of a symbiosis between you and your customer. So if you can adjust your attitude, again, put on your game face. Be on your A game. You know what? You've got to be enthusiastic. You've got to be positive, and you've got to be confident. Those are the three important ingredients, and the customer will follow you. Again, follow me. I'm your leader. You don't tell them that, but you portray that. They're going to follow you. You also, with your customer, use a technician or a campground owner or a manager. You want to establish common ground with a customer. Find anything. I've talked about it in videos before. I've got a camper just like yours. God, that's so cool. How do you like it? Really? Oh man, yeah, I love mine. Hey, you know what? Let's take care of yours because I don't want to have the best camper here in the campground. Now, do I? Kind of throw a little joke in there. I know it's corny, but at least it gives them something of common ground. Hey, I see your kids are in Little League. Mine are too. Doesn't matter if you have kids or not. They don't know that. Wow, my kids or grandkids, they're in Little League. They love it. Wow. They get out there and they had a winning season last year. It was great. It was a good time. Look for, like on their tow vehicles, look for bumper stickers. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. Just find common ground. Again, you're establishing rapport. You're finding common ground. Oh, hey, I see that you were in Hilton Head. That's beautiful down there. I love it down there. God, I'd like to be there right now. Yeah, we're going back in 2 weeks. That's why we need to have this camper worked on. Hey, well, I don't want to hold you back from Hilton Head. Let's get everything on this camper just right, get it in perfect shape, so you can have a fun and worry-free vacation, and then send me pictures to make me jealous. Why don't we take care of that, right? Again, you're finding common ground. You're throwing a little humor in. You're befriending them. You're building their trust. You get to know your clientele that way. And pretty soon you're going to have those repeat customers. So when they come back, the last customer you just talked to, let's say they come back in 2 months. Hey, how was your trip to Hilton Head? Developed, a leak in our in the right rear of our camper. Can you take a look at that? Well, absolutely. We want to make sure that's right. Wow, I wonder how that happened. Well, you know what? We're going to find out for you. Get it fixed so you can take off on your next adventure worry-free. Don't you worry about a thing. Hey, while you're here, our cafe's open. Why don't you go in and have a bite on me? Okay? Again, do them a little something. Pay for their meal. Buy them a Coke. Buy them a cup of coffee. Show them that you care. That's going to mean more to them than anything. Because again, what 2 words did I use in a former video? Empathy and sympathy. Use that to your advantage. Gain their trust. Keep that customer. Okay, so they're in for a repair. They also, while they were at the campground down there, that a tree had gouged their roof, and that's why they have a leak. Well, it's going to have to be re-roofed. You can patch it, but you're going to suggest a re-roofing because a patch is only so good for so long. It's a nice camper. They plan to keep it. Let's approach them for the long haul. So, okay, Mr. Smith. Hey, I got up there. I found out what happened. You hit something down there. Something fell onto your camper, didn't it? Oh, yeah. I was backing into a spot, and I wondered if I hit something because I just felt a little something as I was backing in. God, I was worried that would be it. Well, that's it. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. That sucks, but it's happened to all of us. We can fix that. Now, I know how you take care of your stuff. You've got a beautiful camper, and I know that you like to keep it a long time. You were planning to keep it a little longer, right? Yeah, I'm going to keep it for, at least 10 more years. Okay, well, you know what? We can put a new roof on. But luckily, it didn't go through your Luan. It just went through the material. It went through your vinyl. I suggest that we take off your old vinyl, put new vinyl on. That way you'll be worry-free. And the cost to you is going to be $3,685. We can get going on that within a couple days. Why don't you give me your credit card? Is it the same credit card that you've always used? We have that on file. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and sign here? Okay. What if he doesn't want to sign here? God, no. I love this camper, but I'm not putting that kind of money into it. Always have an alternative. Oh, okay. Well, that's. I can see your point. We can put a patch on it, and that'll significantly reduce the cost to about $385. We would need to keep an eye on that, make sure we'll monitor it. We'll do a semi-annual inspection, make sure that patch is holding. But again, they don't last as long as new roofs, but that's okay. That'll fix the problem, at least for now. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, see what you're doing? You're offering an alternative. You're offering a solution. You offered empathy, you offered sympathy. So you offered a viable solution. They didn't want to spend the $3,600. Maybe they didn't have it. But the $375, yeah, they do have that. No problem. Well, look, come on. We all know putting a patch on is nothing. But you planted in their ear upon your semi-annual inspection. That means twice a year. They're going to bring that camper back to you. Hey, how's that patch holding up? It's doing fine. It's doing fine. Next time we'll see you in, we'll take a look at it again. So next time we bring it in, that patch is coming up and that roof's starting to tear just a little bit more. Now would be the time to do it if you want to make that trip. And I know that $3,600 is an investment, but being that vinyl is starting to rip, who knows where it's going to stop. We need to put new vinyl on. That investment's going to save you untold money in the future. Let's go ahead and get started on that. Yeah, we'd better. We plan to do some traveling. Okay, we'll get going on that. See? So again, sympathy, empathy, customer relations, that provides one word. That's the footprint for one word. What is that word? Opportunity. Again, we don't want to use the word upselling. We want to use the word opportunity, because they're going to bring that camper back to you because they trust you, because you know them, you have stuff in common, and you built a level of trust that nobody else has, and you want to maintain that, and you want to hold it. Hold to your promises. And while you're working on that, they're going to be nervous. I would be. Give you for instance. A couple months ago, I called a guy. I was looking on, I was going through Google reviews, and I found this guy that had great reviews. So I called him up. He came out, gave me an estimate on a fence. He was professional, he was courteous, and he established a good rapport with me. Found out that he even had a camper, and we were talking about that and about how he needs to do some work on it and how he wants to restore it himself, and that's okay because he's a contractor, so he knows how to do this stuff. And I said, look, I'll be glad to give you pointers, no matter what. And so anyhow, we talked back and forth. Well, he ended up giving me a bit of a price break, and he said, look, I will start on this 3 weeks from tomorrow. And it's like, oh boy. And he took my deposit. I was admittedly nervous because there are a lot of scam artists out there. But again, he had good reviews, good word of mouth. So I semi-trusted him. Still, it's like, what did I get myself into? About 2 weeks later, he calls me, said, Eric, I just wanted to let you know we're on schedule. I'm going to be out there on Wednesday, and we're going to get that fence in for you. Whew. Oh, hey, thanks. I appreciate the call. That's awesome. He was there that Wednesday, got my fence in for me, and I couldn't be happier. He held to his promises. We built a bond. There's a trust factor there. If anybody else needs a fence built in this area, I'm going to give him his name, because the guy was awesome. And we talked, we communicated, we laughed, we joked. We even made plans to go out to dinner. They may never come to fruition, but at least there's that personal contact there. I'm always going to recommend this guy. And you as a tech or owner or manager or office personnel should build that same type of relationship. Keep in contact with your customers. Look, big jobs are expensive. Call them up. Get a hold of them via email, on the phone, and in person if possible. Keep them assuaged. Just say, hey, look, everything's going great. We're going to have this camper done. I don't anticipate any problems. Now, let's say if a problem does come up, you've got the solution. Hey, Mr. Customer, hey, this is Eric here at Camper Tech. Hey, I just thought to let you know, your part is coming, but it is delayed a few days, and I apologize about that. They were back ordered, and they promised us just as soon as the production came back up, they would get it out to us. They anticipate that it's going to be probably 2 weeks before they ship it out, and meaning that we will have that in about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, and believe me, the minute that part comes in, we're going to have it on your camper. So, don't worry about it. I'm going to keep you up to date. I just sent you an email. I hope you got that, and we'll keep abreast of things. Okay? Hey, not a problem. You have a great day, and keep your fingers crossed. We're going to get that camper done, and you are going to be on the road. Take care now. Bye-bye. Again, you're reassuring them. You're assuaging them. You're keeping that confidence factor up. Look, most people just want to know. They just want to know. How many of you had to go to the hospital, with a loved one, and they're back there in the ER, and you're pacing back and forth wondering, God, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You're nervous. Your nerves are going through the roof. That's not unlike what people are going through with their campers. And think about it. And then the doctor comes out and says, hey, we got your relative, friend, whatever, stabilized. They're done fine. They're going to recover well. We anticipate they'll be in the hospital for a couple days. They can go home. No problem. Oh, thank you, doctor. Thank you. Same thing with the camper. Maybe not that dramatic, but you get what I'm saying? Let them know. Just let them know. Keep in contact with them. So you've got to keep that in mind. So you've built that rapport with your customers, and your customer base trusts you, and you've got overall happy customers. But you know what? There's not 100% to everything. You're gonna have that irate customer. We've all had them, and they've made ridiculous demands. What do you do about that? Example, customer might call you up or come in. You know what? Ever since the Ever Since Club, I love the Ever Since Club. The Ever Since. You know what? Ever since you winterized my camper, my TV quit working. What are you going to do about it? Well, our first reaction is to react. I didn't do a damn thing with your camper. What are you talking about? Yes, that's what we want to do, but that's not what we do. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear about that. But rest assured, winterization, and let me go through the steps with you. This is what we do. We drain your water heater, and we pump antifreeze through your lines, and we do an inspection on everything. It doesn't have anything to do with your TV. That had to be coincidental. And again, I'm sorry that happened to you, but this is something that it's completely different. I tell you what, we can find you a TV. We can install that. I'll find you a discounted price on one, and we'll get that taken care of. Now, that may assuage them. That may not. Hopefully it will. Hopefully that'll placate them, and they're going to say, okay, all right, fine. I can see your point. Sorry about that. I was just overreacted. It's been a tough week. And again, you can use that to your advantage. It's been a tough week. Mind telling me how? Oh, God. The kids, my oldest kid moved back in. He lost his job. And are you kidding me? That happened to me. My son moved back in, and God, can you believe the stress that it puts on you? You know, they're supposed to be out. Yeah. Suddenly you built that rapport, and suddenly the trust factor comes back up. There are a million ways to placate irate customers. You have to just dig a little bit to find some common ground and try to keep them happy. Because the first thing they're going to come at you with is price. You know, I paid, or that's too much money. No, that's not the issue. They're upset because something broke, and you have to explain to them. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but do you know every time you get your camper out on the road that it's exposed to hurricane force winds and earthquake types of conditions? Something's going to come loose. It's going to happen on every camper. And unfortunately, that happened to yours. But the good news is we can fix it, and it's not going to be that expensive. Go ahead and give me your card, sign here, and we'll get it taken care of for you. Again, there are certain word tracks that you use. Keep that in mind, because all customers are worth keeping, no matter what. If the job is just a simple wash and wax, you know what? You want that customer back. That wash and wax will one day turn into an opportunity for perhaps a roof, perhaps electrical work, perhaps a bearing repacking if you're equipped to do so. The possibilities are endless. Keep that customer. It's just as important as a person who just spent $4,000 on you repairing a slide. See what I'm saying? All customers are important. Keep your attitude up. Again, we all have bad days. You never know. I might be having one. It's an ugly day out. It's Monday. I didn't want to come to work. I didn't want to get out of bed. But you know what? Put my game face on, kicked myself in the butt, said, Eric, you know what? You don't do this, somebody else is. It's what you've got to do. My problems are going to be there. By the end of the day, I can address them then. Right now, my concern, one, is my customer base. Two, is giving you the tools to deal with the same situations. Let's start this week off with running, and you know how to get a hold of me. And again, thanks for hanging with me. Let's get to work.